Judy Ball is coming to us from the forest where Robert Frost wrote his famous poem. Anne is saying she's not hearing me. Is anybody else not hearing me? Is anybody else having sound troubles? So it must be on your end, and I might consider logging out and logging back in. I guess you could also check all of your audio settings. So
We can't hear you.
you couldn't hear me?
If she can't hear you, then she can't hear the.
Paul, how can I get the sound? I cannot hear you.
You're coming through loud and clear for me.
Maybe you should chat with her.
Yeah. I don't really know where we were just then. Partway up the scale here. Let me send Anne another message. Huh. No, it's not letting me send.
Does anybody have her email address?
No.
Anybody from the Evanston Choir? No.
Huh.
Hi, I'm sorry. Was someone asking about the Evanston Choir? This is Anne.
Hi, Anne. Do you have little Anne's email address?
Which Anne?
And she Hallworth, she can't hear us. She's having audio problems.
Oh,
Now she logged off. I'm gonna keep going. Sorry, guys.
Linda, what's the last name again?
And she Hallworth.
Oh, yes. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
She, she's not on the meeting anymore, so she won't see it. Now she's back. Sorry, guys. I don't want to hold up the whole session for this.
Yeah, this is Anne. This is Anne Feaster. I'll give her a call or text her.
Thanks. Trying to message her, but it says she's not in the meeting, but I see her window on my screen, so I don't know what's going on. Right, here we go. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. So if you have gotten sort of used to doing the lip buzz with the help of your fingers, try gradually getting rid of your fingers so that the lips are able to make the position on their own. And it might be that you can only do 3 notes or 5 notes, or maybe you can only do notes in a certain range and then you have trouble again. But try gradually weaning yourself off of using your fingers to help. Also, if you feel like you've sort of mastered one of these, like whichever one it is that you feel like you can do really well, start trying to do one of the others that you can't do so well. Like, challenge your tongue and lips to do one of the others that isn't as easy for Thank you, Ann Pfister, for helping with that. do a little bit of head voice. Let's try this. This is going to be all in head voice for me, and I'll go down for the men's voices, and then we'll go back up for the women's voices. I'm guessing this is too low for any of the women to sing in head voice. Is that correct? Now we'll go back up. Any women able to sing their head voice down this low? Wow. Good job. Try to stay in pure head voice. Don't let it switch over into chest. Good. Let's do a vocal fry into a low note and then glissando into your high head voice. Ooh. Again. Ooh. Now stay at the top for a couple seconds. Ooh. More time. Now let's do a 5-note scale just on NG with the mouth closed or mostly closed. So Ann Pfister is saying, sometimes I'm not sure if I'm in my head voice or my chest voice. So let's talk about this for a second, because I'm guessing you're not the only one. One way to know for sure is start way down at the bottom of your range. So I'll just try to demonstrate with my own voice. I'll pick a note that I know for sure is chest voice. La, 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 la. So I can tell when my voice wants to change gears. So the first gear change on the way up is either going to be mix or head. So that's one way to tell. Another way to tell is to start high in a note that I know for sure is head voice and come down. And when I hear the gear shift, the gear shift is either going to be mix or chest. Let me do it kind of clumsily so that it goes straight from head to chest with no mix. Right there where it broke, I know for sure at that moment, that's a dividing line between my head voice and my chest voice. So you can experiment with your own. Now, here's something interesting that I noticed just now on the way up. My voice wanted to change gears into mix without me telling it to. But that's because I've been working so hard on my mix that my voice is starting to do it automatically. Let me see if I can make it switch in a more abrupt fashion. La 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 la. I can't make it switch right now. It's going into mix automatically on the way up. Now on the way down, it's switching into chest. But you would have to kind of experiment with your own voice. Go way up high. If you're way up high, you're automatically probably in head. And then descend, and when you start to feel it, start to feel the wheels coming off the tracks, that's one of your breaks, and it's either breaking into a mix or it's breaking into chest. The whole point of mix, let's say we have chest and head and they really don't want to overlap at all. The whole point of mix is to create this zone where the two are overlapping. And it might be that the mix is only one note when you start. You've only got one note that you can mix, and then in a month or 6 months you've got two notes. Gradually you would love for your mix to be an octave or an octave and a half, where you can choose on all those notes how you want to sing it. What percentage head, what percentage chest. It just takes forever to get the muscles to cooperate. We could literally spend the whole hour and a half talking about the mix. It's like a magic formula for singers. But the only way, some people, I guess, have it in a more natural fashion. Most of us have to work really hard for a really long time to get our mix to be our friend. It's like the promised land for singers, but you have to cultivate it in your own voice, and it just takes a long time and usually requires somebody assisting you, I think. Okay, let's sing. Let's work on Hanukkah Nagila. Let me make sure I'm in the right folder here. Sorry, that's kind of a brief response to a really complicated question. I wish somebody had talked to me about mix when I was a young singer. I'm trying to talk to my girls about it. It's interesting. My young daughter, my 12-year-old daughter got, let me do this. My 12-year-old daughter got the lead in the musical. And the teacher called me and said, she's the best singer by far, but she needs help with the acting part. Can we coach her on the acting part? But I don't want to give the lead to somebody who's less of a singer and a better actor. The woman who's coaching the kids comes from a musical theater background. I personally don't think she has a great understanding of vocal pedagogy. I think she's trying to get the kids to belt in a Broadway sound, but I don't think she understands mix. So I think what she's telling the kids to do is to push their chest voice up too high. So I said to Cassidy, tell me what Miss Hunter is having you do. Demonstrate it for me. And it's her head was tilted back. I could tell she was pushing her chest voice way much higher than it's ever supposed to go. And I said, stop. Don't sing that way. When your voice wants to flip into mix or head, we're gonna work on mix and try to get a mix that sounds like a belt, but we're not gonna push our chest voice up that high. So when Miss Hunter asks you to do that, you need to respectfully say, my voice isn't meant to work that way, or my my father would like to speak to you about this, or something like that. And I know Miss Hunter, and we have a good relationship, but I don't want Cassidy's. It's typical for a musical theater teacher to say, hey, just sing louder, or just really, can we just, give it all you've got, really belt it out. But what that usually means is singing chest voice too high and not employing the magic of the mix. So I'm trying to teach my daughters mix now, so they don't have to learn it when they're 50 or 45 and their voice doesn't work anymore because they've been singing their chest voice up too high, which is what happened to me. Okay, here we go. Let's see how we do with where is the piano? Ready, go.
Light the menorah, dance the hora, let a song of freedom ring. Light the menorah, dance the hora, let a song of freedom ring. Time to dance, time to sing, celebrate the miracle, come sing along. Time to dance, time to sing, join us in our festive song.
So, how are we doing so far? Are you guys aware of part 1 and 2 and 3, what that means? I'm assuming that I know we've talked about it a little bit in here, and I'm assuming that you've talked about it in your live rehearsals. Part 1 is soprano, part 2 is alto, part 3 is tenors and basses. So there's a little bit of going and coming, and not everybody's singing everything. Here we go, just the beginning part again.
Light the menorah, dance the hora, let a song of freedom ring. Light the menorah, dance the hora, let a song of freedom ring. Time to dance, time to sing, celebrate the miracle, come sing along. Time to dance, time to sing, join us in our festive song. Join our celebration.
Let me go back because I accidentally had the soprano muted. Okay, so everybody okay through the bottom of 4? That's kind of the easy part. And then it starts to get more challenging with the tempo and the Hebrew diction. Let me park it at 38. I'll show you what I mean here.
Sing our festive song.
And then we'll come in at 41.
Join us in our festive song. Join our celebration. Come and dance with me.
How you doing on that section? Everything fine? Anybody feel like they need to go over this section in any detail or go slow or anything like that? I don't want to go too slow, but I don't want to go too fast. Okay, so one more time and then we'll roll on to the next section.
Join us in our festive song. Join our celebration. Come and dance with me. Light the menorah,
let's just do the soprano and alto at this moment, where it changes to Hebrew diction. Just that much again. So just repeat after me, just to make sure. Hava nagila ve'nismecha. It's got the ch sound in it as best you can. Okay, here's this section again for the sopranos and altos. Just that much, okay? Now let's do the tenors and basses in the same section. So let me mute soprano and alto. Tenors and basses, you have English.
Light the menorah, dance the hora, let our song of freedom ring. Light the menorah, dance the hora, let our song of freedom ring. Time to dance, time to sing, celebrate the miracle, come sing along. Time to dance, time to sing, join us in our festive song.
How are we doing tenors and basses? It's a repeat of what's come before with a few little changes. So it should be familiar, but anybody wanting to go over that in any more detail? Or can we put the parts together? Let's try that. So I'm back now at bottom of 6, rolling into this section. Here it comes. How are we doing on this section? Everybody feel solid? Anybody want to go over something isolated or slow or in detail? Okay, now we're at top of 10.
Could you go over the pronunciation of the alto and sopranos words like at 83, just.
Yes. 83, Havaneranena. There's a typo there. It says Ranahan, but they should all be the same. Havaneranena, 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 Venismecha. Venismecha. And then that,
Thank you.
does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, now we're at top of 10, where it goes uru, uru, ahim, uru. Uruachim belev sameach. Uruachim belev sameach. It's kind of a mouthful for the altos and sopranos. Uruachim belev sameach. Uruachim belev sameach. Uruachim belev sameach. And the R in uru is supposed to be flipped. Uru, like r. Uruachim, uruachim, uruachim belev sameach, uruachim belev sameach. Just as best you can. I know it goes by fast and it's sounds we're not used to making. Okay, so sopranos and altos, let's try just a minute at top of 10. Just that much again. Let's go a little slower just with the piano. Here we go. Mm-hmm. Uruachim, uruachim belev sameach, uruachim belev sameach, uruachim belev sameach, uruachim belev sameach, uruachim. And right at that moment, there's a split. The altos go down. Uruachim belev sameach. Okay, let's go back and do that again. As you can hear, I'm flipping in and out of my chest voice and head voice, right? Because I don't want to push my chest voice at the moment. Top of 10, sopranos and altos, 2, ready, go. Uruachim, uruachim belev sameach, 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 belev sameach. Hey. It's much easier, slower, right? Part of it is the challenge of the tempo. Now, just for grins, let's try it at the performance tempo. Now, the performance tempo will be at the discretion of your conductor, not only how fast the fast parts are, but how the speed ups happen, because the sections start with check, 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 and then they gradually speed up. All of that's going to be at the discretion of your local conductor. Okay, here we go, top of 10. Now, did you know that on the YouTube tracks, you can slow them down? Some of you have already figured that out, but those of you that use them, or if you're not using them, this would be a place where slowing them down might be helpful, because then you could kind of gradually, you could slow it down, and there's different speeds. You could gradually speed it back up to performance tempo. Okay, top of 10 then, let's do bass and tenor. Here comes.
Sing our festive song, join our celebration. Daddy, daddy, die, daddy, daddy, die, daddy, daddy, die, daddy, daddy, die, daddy, die, daddy, die. Come and dance with me, come and dance with me. Hey.
So Anne posted in the chat the link to the Hebrew pronunciation guide on YouTube. That's something that Jonathan Miller made, and then I just made a video of it. It's just him speaking the text slowly. So the sopranos and altos have the challenge of the Hebrew diction, but the men have the challenge of having basses singing high E's. So, but we've all got our troubles. Here's top of 10, basses and tenors.
Sing our festive song, join our celebration. Daddy, daddy, die, daddy, daddy, die, daddy, daddy, die, daddy, daddy, die, daddy, die, daddy, die. Come and dance with me, come and dance with me. Hey.
Let's put the two parts together. Back at top of 10, all the parts. Here we go.
Sing our festive song, join our celebration. Daddy, daddy,
So that's that. Let's move on, please. Alepun. So some people, when they sweep the floor, they sweep one column all the way across the floor. So there's one stripe of the floor that's been completely swept from wall to wall. Other people, when they sweep the floor, they go gradually and move one big line of dust across the floor, which is the method I'm using to learn the music. I'm trying to work a little bit on all the songs and move them gradually towards performance ready, but none of them is 100% performance ready yet. But I don't want to neglect any one of them, more than a week. So each one kind of gets nudged along, and then I jump over and we work on another one. That's my method. Everybody has their own method, right? Let's work back to front. So let's start at middle of 8, where there's a key change. Let me see if this is right. I didn't change songs yet. Close that and go to Alepun. Let's see here, 38.
Hurry now, no hesitating.
See where I am? I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle of 8. Let me just mute everybody except the basses for a minute.
Hurry now, no hesitating. Yalepun. Hurry now, no hesitating. Yalepun. Empty the cradle is waiting. Yalepun, alepun, yale alepun, yalepun, yale alepun, alepun katapun.
Let's go back. Just the basses, same place, middle of 8.
Hurry now, no hesitating. Yalepun. Hurry now, no hesitating. Yalepun. Empty the cradle is waiting. Yalepun, alepun, yale alepun, yalepun, yale alepun, alepun katapun.
Okay, tenor, same spot, please.
Hurry now, no hesitating. Yalepun. Hurry now, no hesitating. Yalepun. Empty the cradle is waiting. Yale pon, ale pon, yale ale pon, ale pon, yale ale pon, ale pon katapon.
Same thing again, tenors.
Hurry now, no hesitating. Yale pon. Hurry now, no hesitating. Yale pon. Empty the cradle is waiting. Yale pon, ale pon, yale ale pon, ale pon, yale ale pon, ale pon katapon.
Tenors and basses together, please.
Hurry now, no hesitating. Yale pon. Hurry now, no hesitating. Yale pon. Empty the cradle is waiting. Yale pon, ale pon, yale ale pon, ale pon, yale ale pon, ale pon katapon.
Altos, can I hear you, please?
Hurry now, no hesitating. Yale pon. Hurry now, no hesitating. Yale pon. Empty the cradle is waiting. Yale pon, ale pon, yale ale pon, ale pon, yale ale pon, ale pon katapon. Ale pon, yale.
One more time, altos.
Hurry now, no hesitating. Yale pon. Hurry now, no hesitating. Yale pon. Empty the cradle is waiting. Yale pon, ale pon, yale ale pon, ale pon, yale ale pon, ale pon katapon.
Sopranos, please. Fun piece, right? Not without its challenges. Here comes soprano.
Hurry now, no hesitating. Yale pon. Hurry now, no hesitating. Yale pon. Empty the cradle is waiting. Yale pon, ale pon, yale ale pon, ale pon, yale ale pon, ale pon katapon.
Okay, let's do soprano and alto together, please.
Hurry now, no hesitating. Yale pon. Hurry now, no hesitating. Yale pon. Empty the cradle is waiting. Yale pon, ale pon, yale ale pon, ale pon, yale ale pon, ale pon katapon.
Good, let's have the tenors and basses in there. So the chord is, let me get my piano sound happening here. So this is bass, tenor, alto, soprano.
Hurry now, no hesitating. Yale pon. Hurry now, no hesitating. Yale pon. Empty the cradle is waiting. Yale pon, ale pon, yale ale pon, ale pon, yale ale pon, ale pon katapon. Ale pon, yale ale pon, ale pon, yale ale pon, ale pon katapon.
So starting this, the chorus is kind of in two sections. Where we just stopped at the end of 51 is sort of the beginning of the second section where the basses and tenors have a long note instead of the fast notes. Alepun, alepun, alepun katapun is the bass, as opposed to alepun, yale, alepun, alepun, yale, alepun. They have a slow thing there. So bass and tenor at 52 have 1. Alepun, katapun, and so on. Okay, let's go back and start what I think of as the chorus, which is the last 2 notes of 47. And I'm going to park it at 45 so you kind of know where you are. But then the Yalepun section is sort of like the chorus. Here it comes.
Yalepun, empty the cradle is waiting. Yalepun, Alepun, Yale Alepun, Alepun, Yale Alepun, Alepun katapun. Alepun, Yale Alepun, Alepun, Yale Alepun, Alepun katapun. Alepun, Yale Alepun, Alepun, Yale Alepun, Alepun katapun. Alepun.
So I think of 56 to the end as like one more time. It's like a tag on the chorus. It's like a repeat of the first half of the chorus. Let's look at just the last 3 measures, please. 59 to the end. So basses have pun, katapun, off. So 1, 2, 1, off. Katapun, off. Tenors have pun, alepun, off. Let's try bass and tenor together. Here's bass, here's tenor. Starting at 59, 2, ready, and off. Altos have, ready, altos, alepun, off. 59 altos, ready, go, pun, alepun, off. Let's try the bottom 3 parts. Bass, tenor, alto, 2, 59, off, off. Sopranos have this, ready, go. Down. Or whichever one you prefer. So pun, alepun, or alepun. Let's try that with the tracks. So let me just back it up 2 before that. Let me see if this is right.
Alepun, yale alepun, alepun katapun. Alepun.
So I'm starting around 57. Here it comes.
Alepun, yale alepun, alepun katapun. Alepun.
Okay, let's do the whole last chorus, including that little taggy thing. So let's go back to 47. This is bottom of 9. So I'm rolling right where it says waiting. See where I am? Here comes.
Waiting, yalepun, alepun, yale alepun, alepun, yale alepun, alepun katapun. Alepun, yale alepun, alepun, yale alepun, alepun katapun. Alepun, yale alepun, alepun, yale alepun, alepun katapun. Alepun.
Now let's go back to middle of 8, where the key change occurs, and go from there to the end, and then we'll go back to the beginning. Here's the middle of 8. Ready, go.
Hurry now, no hesitating.
One more time, so make sure you're ready. Here's bass, tenor, alto, soprano, where you come in at 40, and I'm rolling it at going into 38.
Hurry now, no hesitating, yalepun. Hurry now, no hesitating, yalepun. empty the cradle is waiting. Yale pon, yale pon, yale pon katapon. Ale pon, yale pon, yale pon katapon. Ale pon, yale pon, yale pon katapon. Ale pon.
How are we doing on this section? Feel like you're getting it? Anything needs to be slowed down or isolated or? Okay, now let's go back. Let's try just a little bit from the beginning until we kind of hit trouble, and then we'll stop and work it out. Here's the beginning.
Flurries of snowflakes are falling, yale pon. Flurries of snowflakes are falling, yale pon. Winds from the shadows are calling, yale pon, yale pon, yale pon katapon. Ale pon, yale pon, yale pon katapon.
I find it very hard not to sway. When I sing, when I listen to this song. It's funny when I'm looking up, most of you have your heads down, but the whole screen is just a bunch of heads going back and forth like this. It's undeniable. Okay, can I hear just the basses at the beginning? We'll just run the basses that far. Ready, go.
Flurries of snowflakes are falling, yale pon. Flurries of snowflakes are falling, yale pon. Winds from the shadows are calling, yale pon, yale pon, yale pon katapon. Ale pon katapon.
Tenors that far, please.
Flurries of snowflakes are falling, yale pon. Flurries of snowflakes are falling, yale pon. Winds from the shadows are calling, yale pon, yale pon, yale pon katapon. Ale pon katapon.
Tenors and basses together, please. Ready, go.
Flurries of snowflakes are falling, yale pon. Flurries of snowflakes are falling, yale pon. Winds from the shadows are calling, yale pon, yale pon, yale pon katapon. Ale pon katapon.
Altos, please.
Flurries of snowflakes are falling, yale pon. Flurries of snowflakes are falling, yale pon. Winds from the shadows are calling, yale pon, yale pon, yale pon, yale pon, yale pon katapon. Yale pon, yale pon, yale pon, yale pon katapon.
Altos one more time.
Flurries of snowflakes are falling, yale pon. Flurries of snowflakes are falling, yale pon. Winds from the shadows are calling, yale pon, yale pon, yale pon, yale pon, yale
sopranos, please.
Flurries of snowflakes are falling, yalepun. Flurries of snowflakes are falling, yalepun. Winds from the shadows are calling, yalepun, alepun, yale alepun, alepun, yale alepun, alepun katapun. Alepun, yale alepun, alepun, yale alepun, alepun katapun.
All parts together, please. Here comes.
Flurries of snowflakes are falling, yalepun. Flurries of snowflakes are falling, yalepun. Winds from the shadows are calling, yalepun, alepun, yale alepun, alepun, yale alepun, alepun katapun. Alepun, yale alepun, alepun, yale alepun, alepun katapun.
How are we doing on this section? Feel solid? Anything you want me to go over again? Okay, now we're middle of 6. Echoing footsteps are clicking, yale pun. This is a little tricky, maybe. Let's work on just the soprano and alto first. Oh, let me put the piano back in.
Echoing footsteps are clicking, yalepun. Echoing footsteps are clicking, yalepun. Journey to Bethlehem, quickening, 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 yalepun.
Good, just the sopranos first.
Echoing footsteps are clicking, yalepun. Echoing footsteps are clicking, yalepun. Journey to Bethlehem, quickening, 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 yalepun, alepun.
How you doing on that section, sopranos? Feel like you're getting it? Altos alone, please.
Echoing footsteps are clicking, yalepun. Echoing footsteps are clicking, yalepun. Journey to Bethlehem, quickening, 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 yalepun, alepun.
I think that's a kind of a tricky section. Sopranos and altos together, please.
Echoing footsteps are clicking, yalepun. Echoing footsteps are clicking, yalepun. Journey to Bethlehem, quickening, 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 yalepun.
Good. Let's hear the tenors and basses together, please.
Echoing footsteps are click, 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 click. Echoing footsteps are click, 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 click. Journey to Bethlehem, quickening, 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 yalepun.
Just the basses, please. The ladies have this. Echoing footsteps are.
Echoing footsteps are click, 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 click.
Echoing footsteps are.
Echoing footsteps are click, 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 click. Journey to Bethlehem, quickening, 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 yalepun, alepun.
Tenors, let's hear you, same section. Sopranos and altos have. Echoing footsteps are.
Echoing footsteps are click, 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 click.
Echoing footsteps are.
Echoing footsteps are click, 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 click. Journey to Bethlehem, quickening, 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 yalepun.
All the parts together, and then we'll see what you need.
Echoing footsteps are
Echoing
clicking,
footsteps are click, 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 click.
Echoing footsteps footsteps are
Echoing
clicking.
footsteps are click, 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 click. Journey to Bethlehem, quickening, quickening, quickening. Yale pun, ale pun, yale yale pun, ale pun, yale yale pun, ale pun katapun.
And then we're back to where we were a minute ago, starting in the middle of the song. So any of this section you want to go over again slowly or in isolation? Feel like you're getting it? You guys are smart. Let's move on. Let's work on Gabriel's message. This one's full of challenges. Let's start. Last measure, bottom of 5.
Then gentle Mary.
Let's work on just the soprano and alto part there. This is the Magnificat part. 2, ready, go. So my choir in Arlington Heights is finding this section very challenging with regard to the counting, because it changes back and forth between 12/8 and 9/8. So sometimes it's hard to know how long the measures are, how long the rests are, etc. And then we throw the melody underneath it, and it's kind of, it has a feeling of, where am I? Where am I in the measure? Where am I in the beat? So let's go back. I'm going to count during some of the long notes and some of the rests. I'm going to count to show you kind of how my brain makes sense of it. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me turn it down a little bit so that I can count over the top of it, and I'll see if this is helpful to you. 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, off. Does that help? I have to, if I stop counting in this section, I will miss something. So I have to actually count in my head. And it's easy to get lost either on the long notes or on the rest. One more time, let me count, and then I'll take questions if you have them. Here it goes. 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, off, off. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, off. Now let's work on the tenors and actually let me ask, do you have any questions in this section? Yes, Annette?
Measure a 34. I think it's because there's a repeated note. I don't have the notes just right. Could you just play it once?
Yeah.
Oh my, I really didn't have them right. Okay.
Anima mea Domini. Yeah. Da, 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 da. Okay. Any other questions, tenor, sopranos and altos?
Yeah, Paul,
Yes.
could you just give us piano on that whole section
Just the piano. You mean playing
for
the?
sopranos?
Oh, yep. Me playing the part on piano, is that what you meant? Here we go. So bottom of 5, 3, 4, 1. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. That help? I think it's a really beautiful part, but it's not easy to count and sing. Okay, so just for a second, tenors and basses, same spot.
Then gentle Mary meekly bowed her head. To me be as it pleases God, she said. My soul shall laud and magnify God's holy name. Most highly favored lady, Gloria.
Same thing, tenors and basses. 2, ready, go.
Then gentle Mary meekly bowed her head. To me be as it pleases God, she said. My soul shall laud and magnify God's holy name. Most highly favored lady, Gloria.
Now let's put the two together. Fasten your seatbelts. Here comes.
Then gentle Mary meekly bowed her head. To me be as it pleases God, she said. My soul shall laud and magnify God's holy name. Most highly favored lady, Gloria.
How'd you do? It's a tough section.
I find it a lot easier when the men are singing,
Okay.
because I watch the words and then when they get to the syllable before mine, I come in.
I found that if I count with the triplets, does it help, or actually it's
Well,
not helping?
It might help you. If it helps you, do it.
Okay.
I think of triplets also. Okay, now let's go back, please. Bottom of 3, measure 13. Let me go one measure before that.
Every age will praise continue. Your sunshine be Emmanuel, I sing your glory. Most highly favored lady, Gloria.
Once again, same section, please, and then we'll talk about what you need. Bottom of 3.
Every age will praise continue. Your sunshine be Emmanuel, I sing your
we doing on this section? I think part of what's tricky is the tenor and bass part because it's sort of a pattern and then it changes on certain measures. Sopranos and altos have the joy of singing the melody. Let's go back. Let's do the beginning through the previous section and then talk about what you need. Here's the very beginning. One, two, three.
The angel Gabriel from heaven came.
With wings as drift as snow, with eyes as flame.
All hail, said he, O holy maiden Mary, most highly favored lady. Gloria, 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 Gloria.
How blessed are all the women you shall be, whom every age will praise continually. Your son shall be Emmanuel, my sister's daughter, most highly favored lady. Gloria.
One, two, three.
Then gentle Mary bowed her head. To me be as it pleases God, she said. My soul shall laud and magnify God's holy name, most highly favored lady.
How'd you do? That's a big chunk of it. There's little tricky spots kind of throughout. There's like places where it's, now that we know it, it's sort of easy, but then there's tricky spots. Okay, so now we're at the slow section, middle of 7. Let's work on this for a minute.
Of her Emmanuel the Christ was born.
Let's work on just the basses for a second here.
Of her Emmanuel the Christ was born in Bethlehem all on a Christmas morn, and Christian folk throughout the world will ever say.
Just that much again, basses.
Of her Emmanuel the Christ was born in Bethlehem all on a Christmas morn, and Christian folk throughout the world will ever say.
Tenors, can I hear you, please?
Of her Emmanuel the Christ was born in Bethlehem all on a Christmas morn, and Christian folk throughout the world will ever say, most highly favored lady.
Once again, tenors.
Of her Emmanuel the Christ was born in Bethlehem on a Christmas morn,
basses and tenors together, please.
Of her Emmanuel the Christ was born in Bethlehem on a Christmas morn, and Christian folk throughout the world will ever sing. Most highly favored.
Alto, please.
Christian folk throughout the world will ever sing.
Once again, altos.
Of her Emmanuel the Christ was born in Bethlehem on a Christmas morn, and Christian folk throughout the world will ever sing.
Sopranos, can I hear you, please?
Of her Emmanuel the Christ was born in Bethlehem on a Christmas morn, and Christian folk throughout the world will sing.
Once again, sopranos.
Of her Emmanuel the Christ was born in Bethlehem on a Christmas morn, and Christian folk throughout the world will sing.
Sopranos and altos together, please.
Of her Emmanuel the Christ was born in Bethlehem on a Christmas morn, and Christian folk throughout the world will ever sing.
Add the tenors, please.
Of her Emmanuel the Christ was born in Bethlehem on a Christmas morn, and Christian folk throughout the world will ever sing.
Add the basses back in, please. Here comes all the parts.
Of her Emmanuel the Christ was born in Bethlehem on a Christmas morn, and Christian folk throughout the world will ever sing. Most highly favored lady, most highly favored lady.
So this is kind of a little tricky section. First of all, how are we doing on the slow section? I know it's just a short little thing, but it's full of tricky spots too. How do you feel like you're doing here? Middle of 7 to middle of 8. Getting it? Man, it's just absolutely exquisite writing. Okay, so let me park it at 46 for a second to show how we get out of this. And I'm gonna...
most highly favored lady, most highly favored Gloria.
So for starters, everybody says, most highly favored lady, but like in a round. Tenors say it first, then sopranos, then basses, then altos. Everybody does that one phrase. Most highly favored lady. It's going from 7 to 8. Yes, Josh, that's correct. So let's just do the tenors for a second because they lead off this little fugue. Here's tenors at 46.
Ever say, most highly favored lady, Gloria, Gloria, Gloria.
Once again, tenors.
Ever say, most highly favored lady, Gloria, Gloria, Gloria.
Good, now let's do the basses. We'll put those two together. Most highly favored lady.
Most highly favored lady, Gloria.
Once again, basses, same spot. I'm starting at 46 each time. Most highly favored lady.
Most highly favored lady, Gloria.
Tenors and basses together, starting at 46.
Ever say, most highly favored lady, most highly favored lady, Gloria.
So if somebody's asking the question, is there a trick to breathing in the waiting period and being ready with a big breath? I'm not exactly sure what you mean, Val. Can you clarify?
Yeah, it's just when I'm waiting, I'm kind of like, I want to have a big breath coming in. So I'm just wondering, do you kind of like sit breath or just breathe normally and then take a deep breath? It's that kind of thing.
So here's one idea. So if the measures are going by this fast, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we come in right there, some people will breathe like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. They'll do like an eighth note quick breath, which I think is not as helpful as this. 1, 2, 3, boom. So I took a whole beat to breathe versus just an eighth note. You could also breathe for 2 beats like this. 1, 2, boom, which might feel like too long of a breath. I would think 1 beat, 1 full beat. So if you're waiting a measure, 1, 2, 3, breathe, sing. That feels more natural to me, but some people wait too late and then they end up with, which is, I think, too short of a breath, and they end up not getting enough. Plus it has a gaspy sound to it. Now, there are places in the music where you have to do a gaspy breath just because there's only an eighth note or some short little space and you have to just do what you can. But for example, you're singing alto, right? So in measure 47, you've got a whole measure off plus half a measure. So you've got 47 off and half of 48. So you could do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, breathe. Most highly favored lady. I think in this tempo, one beat is enough for a healthy breath. Does that help at all?
Great. Yes, thank you so much. Thanks.
But again, some people end up waiting till the last minute and then they go and try to sing, and it's a very short amount of time to get a proper breath. Okay, tenors and basses together one more time.
Ever say, most highly favored lady, most highly favored lady, Gloria.
Now, altos, let's hear how your part kind of evolves.
Ever say,
1, 2.
most highly favored lady.
So you're going to have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Here comes again altos.
Ever say,
1, Now let's try alto, tenor, bass.
Ever say, most highly favored lady, most highly favored lady, Gloria.
How you doing? It's kind of fast and furious, right? Let's hear sopranos on their own initially.
Most highly favored lady, Gloria, Gloria.
Once again, sopranos.
Most highly favored lady, Gloria, Gloria.
Let's try altos and sopranos together.
Ever said, most highly favored lady, most highly favored lady.
Add the tenors.
Ever say, most highly favored lady, Gloria,
Most highly favored Gloria.
Add the basses.
Ever say, most highly favored lady, most highly favored lady, Gloria,
Jong, jong, jong.
glory,
And we'll get to all that in just a second. Now, let's go back to middle of 7, please, the slow part, and connect it to this part we've just been rehearsing. Let me park it at 39. 39.
of her Emmanuel, the Christ was born in Bethlehem, O Lord, of Christmas morn, and Christian folk throughout the world will ever say, most highly favored lady, most highly favored Gloria, glory,
Now, let's just look at this little ending section. I'm going to park it at 50, and we'll just do them separately for a second, and then together, and then we'll be done. So, sopranos first. Once again, sopranos. Altos, please. Once again, altos. Altos and sopranos together. Tenors.
glory.